Okay, can't wait to get taken down for copyright, or like muted or demonetized for copyright for having the song in there without any commentary over it. But yes, hello! Welcome everyone to the next Let's Play that I'll be doing, and hope you like licensed games, cause I'm doing another one, and it is Scooby-Doo Unmasked. When I made a sort of preliminary list of, you know, moderate length games to try to Let's Play on this channel when I started it, Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights for PS2 and GameCube was on there. But this is the one that I actually remember playing. I rented it many times from Blockbuster, this was the first time that I'd actually played through the whole thing and beaten it, and I like it, and it's October, it's spooky time, it's a fun game. I hope everyone enjoys it. It's not very long. Let's watch the opening cutscene.
Here we are. Monstrous Fright and Magic. Monsters while you wait.
Sure. Do you mind if we wait in the van?
Oh yeah, there is a laugh track in the cutscenes of this game, and it is extremely sporadic. I think you only actually hear like 7 laughs in the whole game, and they're not even at like what I would imagine are the typical funniest parts. And they kind of just stop doing it halfway through. I don't really know.
Let's split up and see if we can find any clues.
So yeah, the opening of the game is takes place at this place called Monstrous Fright and Magic. It's basically a special effects studio, and that's gonna kind of be the gimmick of the game's plot, which you will understand pretty quickly. And yeah, so this is a pretty standard 3D platformer. Again, like I said, not very long. I think there's only like 4 worlds in the whole thing, and they're all split up into a few different levels, and Scooby-Doo can wear different suits, which is a thing that we'll get to a little bit later on. Yeah, this is just me kind of wandering around. When I was first playing through this game recently, I didn't really put much emphasis on like looking for secrets or anything like that, and I did miss a few things. And it seems that getting 100% completion in this game is pretty easy. It's just a matter of finding all of the different collectibles, the different kinds of which you'll become privy to in a little bit, like as time goes on. And hopefully I'll remember to mention them when they come up. I'm doing this in post-commentary for right now, by the way, if you couldn't tell. It's just easier with my current work schedule and everything to do the audio and video separately, usually. Anywho, and just easier for my dumb brain. But anyway, so I don't think, I'm not setting out to do a 100% completion run of this game like I have been doing with some other ones. But, I mean, if it gets, you know, a decent part of the way through it and I'm pretty close to it and I know how I would go about doing it, like if it isn't going to be too huge of a deal if I don't have to redo a bunch of shit, and can, you know, edit out any sort of tedious or, you know, I forget what word I'm trying to think of right now. Unnecessary, I suppose, stuff, then maybe it will become one. Like I said, it wasn't very hard. I think my run where I wasn't even really trying to get everything, I was just kind of playing the game how I normally would play a video game. I think I got like 92 or 93% completion by the end of it, so yeah, it's just a matter of getting all of the different collectibles. Speaking of which, I guess I should explain what these are if you haven't been reading the tutorial things. Not that it matters if you're not playing the game, but Scooby Snacks, in most cases, if you're not sucking dick at the game, and mostly in this first level where pretty much nothing hurts you, You don't really need to be collecting them. I just collect them because I like collecting things and they're floating there, and it would bother me if I didn't, and they make a cool little munch sound when you collect them. But basically, if you get hit and you collect 100 of them, then they refill a health point. It is kind of pointless because, like I said, at the beginning, if you're doing well, then you're really not going to get hurt very much at all. And especially when you do upgrades to get more hit points, which is what these food things do, and the sandwich thing at the right will be explained shortly. And I wasn't going crazy. That looked like there was a Scooby snack there, right? In the side of the screen? Like, I saw that when I was playing, as you can tell, and I don't know. Okay, so the first time I played through this, I swear to God that this zipline didn't work, so I just hopped across these weird, like, turned over trucks that you slide on, and it's very obnoxious moving around on them, but you can do it that way. And there's a whole mess of breakable bits over there that I kind of miss there. I don't remember if there's anything important there. I don't think I missed anything in this level. But anyway, the other reason why it's kind of pointless to get the Scooby snacks is because you can also more easily fill up your hit points and therefore your Scooby snack levels, at which point it stops counting. With Scooby snack boxes, which are, especially in the first half of the game, laid out pretty liberally throughout the game. And so, yeah, like, if you're staying on top of things, you pretty much... I very rarely would ever actually collect 100 Scooby snacks and have that restore a hit point. Usually, by the time you've cracked open enough shit to get 100 Scooby snacks, you've probably run into a box by then. And then they'll explain more of it in a moment, but the thing that you are collecting, the thing that I'm collecting that looks like jelly beans, which is what I called it even when I played this game and knew what was going on, is called mubber, and what exactly that is will be explained shortly. But it is an important part of the story of the game, and you need it to activate the different suits. Those little machines, I think I stood by one absent-mindedly thinking I could switch to something already earlier in this video. Yeah, this one right over here. Yeah, you load them into there and they make you the suits, and, you know, that usually means that you have to... If you see the machine in there, that usually means you have to do something with the suit pretty soon. Or it starts an annoying little, not boss rush, but like a certain amount of enemies comes out and you need to kill all the enemies before you can proceed, and it's like a fixed camera point. You'll see it relatively soon. Not in this video, but when we get into sort of real stuff. And yeah, throughout the game, but especially in this first level, they really hold your hand about what to be doing. I guess the whole clue thing isn't the most intuitive thing to a child, where you have to pick up the different clues and then bring them to Velma, and then she examines them and they activate where those little light bulb things are and help you proceed. But they literally have, like, whole cutscenes. Like, that. They had that little cutscene just showing Scooby looking at Velma, like, yeah, you need to go over to her now, that's step 2. Yeah, there are also these little mini mubber things that you can feed mubber into, and it'll make it into food. Which begs the question, because, I mean, not to get ahead of ourselves, but, the mubber is used to create, like, convincing human figures, or at least, like, living figures, because it's a special effects thing. So, like, is it just a facsimile of food? Like, it's not real chocolate bar that I just picked up, it's, like, weird goop?
When you do, just look for me in my trusted Forte kitchen, and I'll cook us up one of my delicious meals.
I really like that laugh that Shaggy did. But yeah, that's what the food is for. You'll find a bunch of different food. There's a certain number of them in each level. I'm sure you can look on the pause menu to find out how many you need, but I never think to do that for some reason. And I feel like I forgot to do something over there, but I think it's actually something for the last part of the game, because we will be... This is not the only time that we'll be in Monsters, Fright, and Magic in the game. But, whatever. I didn't miss anything in the level, so I'm not really worried about it.
Don't move.
Like what mess did you get into, Scoob?
I call it Mubber. A remarkable soy-based formula that can take any shape. And it only breaks down under UV light. Isn't that right, Marcy?
With Mubber, Mr. Stanton has perfected the most lifelike special effects monsters ever.
And would you believe it even tastes good?
Yummy!
Mr. Stanton, pleased to meet you. I'm Fred. This is Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby-Doo. We're friends of Jed Jones.
Jed? That thief? Look around. He caused all this so he could steal my creations. He reprogrammed the animatronics monsters, and now they're attacking people.
How can you be sure it's Jed?
He's missing. And so's my Mubber, UV lamps, some animatronics. That's all the proof I need.
Mr. Stanton, I don't believe Jed would ever do such a thing. We'll get to the bottom of this mystery.
Do you have any idea where Jed could have gone?
He had a delivery to Chinatown for the New Year's parade.
Yeah, we did it. Okay, so yeah, now we're going on to the first real world of the game. Like I said, there's only a few of these, and how it works is there's basically like an overworld to it. There's a bunch of places that are blocked off. You open those places by going into different levels and finding clues. You get the clues, and you bring them to Velma, and she opens places, and you proceed, and you find things, and you play the game. It's a good game. I guess this is important.
Dragon?
And you are?
My name is Maggie Z. I'm in charge of the New Year's celebration.
We're looking for my cousin Jed. He was delivering...
Jeez. Where's Maggie?
Well, dragon or not, we'll solve this mystery.
Cool. By the way, weird that Frank Welker is not in the voice cast of this game, at least if I remember correctly from the credits. He usually plays Scooby and Fred, and doesn't in this, and also plays like a trillion other characters. Just being like, he's a very prolific voice artist. But yeah, so I guess like the outstanding thematic thing in this game is just the same with any other Scooby-Doo episode, because this game basically just functions as an extended playable Scooby-Doo episode where, you know, I mean, I guess the only difference is that Scooby does like 98% of the work, except Velma, you know, has, she looks at the notes, she looks at the things, and figures out, deduces the stuff. But Scooby finds all of them. I kind of wish it would be cool if they had like a tag teaming with Shaggy sort of deal. I think they do that in Night of 100 Frights. I'm probably wrong. Yeah, so that being said, I guess I wasn't really thinking about this actively when playing the game, but I'm hoping in Let's Playing it, we can try to tease out some things that might be suggesting regarding Scooby-Doo's sort of position as being the whole, you know, removing the face and revealing the actual villain, and it's always a capitalist trying to, you know, get away with some scheme by freaking people out or doing what have you. And I am by no means, and I don't think anybody is trying to suggest that Scooby-Doo has, like, you know, very consistent leftist politics or anything like that. But that angle of the whole thing, and the fact that it was, you know, the characters are positioned as like late 60s counterculture youth archetypes are very, I guess they're not quite archetypes. I've never positioned any of them as very hippie-like, I guess, except for Shaggy and the fact that he definitely smokes a ton of weed. But other than that, I don't know. You know what I mean. Just all of that is interesting, suggests interesting things, and it could be interesting also to see how formally those things translate to an early 2000s video game. So, yeah, I'll be trying to pay attention to that. And yeah, this is just me kind of wandering around showing off the Chinatown overworld and all the different places that we'll be trying to unlock. You may have noticed the giant coin in the dragon mouth. We'll be getting to that shortly. Hopefully. I don't really remember how you do it, but whatever. And yeah, so we found our first clue, and that will let us get into the first section of the game. And then they give us a nice nifty trail of Scooby snacks to get us there, because I'm just a little baby, and I just rented this from Blockbuster for the 9th time, and I need to know where to go, and I like to pick up the little items because it makes my heart happy and makes my brain squirt out the joy chemical. Anyway, so next time we will be getting into the real shit, like a real level that feels like the rest of the levels in this game, so I'll see you then for that.